Hey folks, I'm John P. with Geek Beat TV, and today we are going to take a look at the SousVide Supreme.
This episode of Geek Beat is brought to you by Domain.com.
Okay gang, what we're looking at is a SousVide Supreme, which is actually a water oven. And we're gonna cook some ribeyes in it. I know what you're thinking, meat in water? I'm not sure I want that, but trust me, you do, because actually the meat is gonna get bagged up and cooked in the water, and then we're gonna finish it on the grill, which is totally different than our control method. We're gonna take 2 of these ribeyes and we're going to cook them directly on the grill. We're gonna take 2 of them, we're gonna start them in the sous vide and finish them on the grill, and then we're gonna see which one wins. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make a marinade, and the marinade is gonna be done no matter what, no matter which method you choose. You can use this even if you wanna just pan fry these steaks, okay? What I do is I use about 4 lemons, and I like to use my little handy lemon squashing machine here. If you don't have one of these, definitely get you one. I've already pre-squashed some, so we've got about, I don't know, what would you say, about half a cup of lemon juice there. The reason we're using lemon juice, it adds some flavor to the meat, but on top of that, the acid in it will break down the meat and actually make it less tough, so that's good. Now, here's the other thing. This is how I cheat, okay? This is Newman's Own balsamic vinaigrette dressing. What I used to do is add oil and vinegar and seasonings, but you know what? It all comes in here, so just cheat. And by the way, the other brands, they don't taste as good. I've tried every brand there is. So we're just gonna put 1 whole bottle of that in there. All right, that's good. Then we're gonna add a little bit of oregano because it's good stuff. And we'll do some fresh ground pepper because these didn't come in the balsamic vinaigrette. All right, we get some pepper in there. And just to make sure that we get, high blood, some kind of blood disease or something, we'll just put some salt in there as well. Okay, it's all good. Okay, so the marinade is totally ready. Now what we need to do is we need to bag it up. Okay, the sous vide machine actually comes 2 ways. It comes with and without its own vacuum sealer. This is the one that they include. It's a rather basic unit. There's nothing wrong with it at all. You place bags in here, you shut this, it locks in place, and you seal and vacuum. Nothing wrong with it, and it's a good option. But I prefer this Food Saver. This is a Big Daddy Food Saver model. They're kind of the originators of this idea. And 2 of them will go in here, like so. We're gonna pour enough of this marinade in to just kind of coat them. There we go. Now, we'll put this on top, and we'll hit the vacuum, and we'll hit the canister button here to start the vacuum action. Oops, there we go, canister. Now what's happening is, it's vacuum packing that lid on there, and the vacuum is going to draw the moisture into the meat. And remember that lemon juice has that acid which will break down and tenderize the meat in addition to all the flavor. That's gonna need to sit in there for at least 2 or 3 hours just to get some good flavor. And I've left it in as long as overnight. And if you go like 12 to 24 hours, the flavor is just amazing. Okay, so we can test and we can see by lifting it on the lid, that is definitely vacuumed in there. So that meat is gonna be absorbing all that juice. Now, these are the ones we're gonna just grill, but the other 2, we're gonna need to put in bags because we're gonna drop those in the machine. Now you can either, if you don't have one of these food savers, you can either buy these pre-made bags, which you can see are really big, much, much bigger than the steaks themselves. Or you can make your own by using a roll and just cutting it and sealing at both ends. But we're doing this because it's the easy way right now. And then we're gonna take our marinade and just pour it in. Now we open the edge of this sealer. Stick the baggie in there like that. the meat kind of, as the bag compresses here. And now we've got a packaged ribeye. So it's going to marinate like that, and then we're going to drop it directly in the sous vide, and it's going to cook like that as well. Okay, so the meat has been marinating in the fridge for about 4 hours, which is the minimum I like to leave it, just so it gets nice and tender. And of course, one of the advantages of a sous vide machine is that it's supposed to tenderize the meat. It gets it right up to the internal temperature where fat kind of melts off and it doesn't harden up the proteins. So I don't know if it's going to make any difference that we tenderized it or not, but we've got the machine out here. I've filled it inside with water, and if you look closely right here, you can see that it's currently at 130 degrees. Now, it comes with this nice little target temperature guide, and it tells me that for beef, rare is 120 degrees and medium is 134. So I actually want this just under medium rare because we're going to finish it on the grill just to get the nice outside sear, marks and things like that. So that's set. We're going to drop the meat in. As you can see, the water is about halfway up, and we're just going to put these bags right in here. They'll kind of sink down. And we'll drop the lid back on. And now we wait. So we're going to give that about an hour and a half because it's about an hour for an inch thick, and these are a little thicker than that. So we'll give it an hour and a half, and then when they're up to 130 degrees inside, we'll pull them out and sear them. Be right back, and on the way out, let me just say thanks to our sponsor for today's show. Have you ever been cooking and all of a sudden you have a great idea for a website? While I was making this video, I thought, what if I put up a bunch of sous vide tutorials so people could learn how to do it? And then throw in a few affiliate links to earn some cash when people decide to buy a machine. So then I started thinking, what would I name it? I mean, because it's got to be a .com because that's the universal standard. And of course, if the site ever gets popular enough to sell, a .com is going to be worth more money. Anyway, did you know SousVideTutorials.com is available? So is iCanSousVide.com or SousVideForYou.com and tons more. And when it's time to grab it, Domain.com is the natural choice. They're affordable, reliable, and easy to use. Plus, you get 20% off by using coupon code CALI. That means you can grab a domain and even get web hosting for a measly $3 a month. I'm telling you people, these things pay for themselves. So next time, don't just sit around and think about it. Head on over to Domain.com and register that name quick. Remember, the super secret coupon code is CALI. 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 Okay, well, it's been an hour and a half. We've been at 130.4 degrees and or within 1 degree of that for this whole time. The meat should be right about rare. So it's time to pull it out and put it on the grill. These are the two control steaks that have been in the fridge, and by the way, I took them out about a half an hour ago because you want them to get up to room temperature so we're not putting cold meat on a hot grill. That makes it much more difficult to cook. So these are about room temperature. They've been under vacuum, I can tell because the lid is still on it, and when I go and release the vacuum, you'll hear the noise. And then the lid comes right off. Okay, so those are our steaks that have not been cooked sous vide. They're just marinating this whole time. We're going to slap those on the grill. Now the grill has been preheating for about the last 20 minutes. It's up around at least 600 degrees. And we'll toss these suckers on. Whoo-wee. Close the lid so we get kind of an oven effect going. We're going to leave those on for a couple of minutes on each side so we get them seared really nicely. And then we're going to kind of turn down the heat and try and slow cook them to about a medium rare. Okay guys, the steaks have been on for about 8 to 10 minutes. I've been flipping them every couple minutes and we're about to put these on. I spared you the whole opening the bag thing. If you look, they almost look like they're done and they smell delicious and they feel about the right consistency. but they just don't look appealing to me because they don't have those grill marks. So we're gonna do that. As you can see, we're already getting nice grill marks on these other pieces, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull those off because I don't really wanna overdo them. Those are looking really good to me right now. So we'll drop these two on. A nice hot part of the grill. Close it down, get that oven action going. We're gonna leave it for 2 minutes, turn it over, 2 minutes on the other side, then we're gonna take them inside, slice them open, I mean, see how we did. Be right back. Okay guys, they've been on here long enough. We've got some nice char marks. We're gonna set them on the other side of the plate here so we keep them separated. All right, we're back inside and we have celebrity guest food taster at Holly Pose.
Hi.
Thanks for letting me use the house for our video.
No problem.
Okay, so can you tell which ones I cooked entirely on the grill and which ones were done in the sous vide machine?
It looks like these were done on the grill.
You're right, these stayed on the grill a little longer. I think you can tell because there's a little more burn mark action going on. But what I was shooting for was a kind of medium rare. So let's see what happened. We're gonna just cut into these. And this is the one that I just guessed at.
Wow.
You know what? Actually, I was shooting for medium rare, but that's more of a medium. It's a pink. Medium rare would be a much darker red. I mean, if you asked for medium rare, you'd probably still eat this, so that's good. But it's definitely not medium rare. Let's try this one. This one was a lot thicker. That's a little closer to a medium rare. So we have an issue where the thicker one and the thinner one didn't cook at the same rate, so there's some inconsistency there. Now let's take a look at the ones that were done on the sous vide machine. So what's interesting is that these are more uniformly pink. If we look at one of each of these, we can see that there's just a small brown edge on this one, the sous vide one, and the other, the more well-done edges are a little bigger. But, you know, I would say they're pretty close. And we'll check this one, which is also the thicker one that was done on the sous vide. Oh no, that one's definitely a medium rare. That is definitely the closest to it. And you can see there's just a tiny little brown edge right here where the grill marks were. But other than that, you know. Now, the final taste test here. Let's see how it goes. You want to try some?
Sure.
You feel brave? Feel lucky? There you go.
Okay.
I'll try a little myself.
Can I have a big piece?
Okay.
It's good.
That is good. Now the question is it better than the one that was only on the grill, or is it equal or different? You don't have to eat your whole bite.
Okay.
Toss it down.
Okay.
There's your little tiny piece of the one that's only on the grill. Any one of those you want? Okay, let's see. About the same.
Yeah.
It's about the same. All right, so here's what we learned from this whole experiment. I would say if we were just talking about pure grilled versus sous vide, the grilled ones look better, but they all taste the same. And this is the impressive part, because I've been cooking on a grill for 2 decades at least, and it takes a lot of practice to be able to do that. I had to watch those steaks like a hawk, even though they were done in about 10 minutes. The other ones, anyone could have done in this machine. And there's a huge time variable that you can put them in here for. We could have left them in for an hour. We could have left them in for 4 hours. They would have never been overdone. And you know you cannot walk away from a grill for like 4 minutes and they would be ruined. So I would say, all in all, this machine's gonna run you about $400 or $500 depending on which model and depending on which package you get. What you're buying for $400 or $500 is consistency and the ability to just kind of walk away and forget it. All in all, I give it a thumbs up.
Me too.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Stay tuned for more Geek Beat. Go to youtube.com/GeekBeatTV. Give us a thumbs up on this episode if you liked it, and hit that subscribe button up there somewhere. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.